What's going on, Badger Nation? It's quiet out here. Join me. Let's go for a walk together. It's a particularly still morning out here in Austin. It's a perfect antithesis to what's going on in the world right now. And if you're a long-time listener of the show, you know that on our solo episodes, we can get a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate. Building relationships is something that we try to do here at Ad Badger, and this episode is no different. Now, during these times of hardship, I wanted to share a few things that are pulling me through, that are helping me move forward during this time, because now, more than ever, it is important to move and move forward. You know, one book I'm reading right now, recommended by a mentor, is A Man's Search for Meaning. It's an incredible story of Victor Frankl, who was in a concentration camp during World War II. Particularly, his book is about how to survive during hard times. And I want to get this episode started by sharing two of his quotes without explanation. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Now, how someone was able to endure a concentration camp and come out with such profound thoughts is incredible. What a spirit. Now, while we're nowhere near World War II conditions right now, the spirit of using our personal freedom to strive during a difficult time is very relevant. It's here for us. It is our duty to look at the situation, accept reality, and choose how we will handle it. Now, if you're like me, you've had a lot of time to think. You know, one morning, 2 weeks ago, I made a big mistake. I woke up, rolled out of bed, grabbed my phone, went on Twitter. I read about how the coronavirus is being mismanaged. I read about how it's not really a disaster. I read about that it'll last years. I read about how it'll last only 3 months. I read about preparing for a Mad Max style apocalypse, and I read about how this is our own version of World War II. It propelled me on a downward spiral for hours. I was frantic. I was rushed. I was jumpy. I was irritable. Thankfully, I'm surrounded by great people that inspire me, and I was able to snap out of it. I journaled, I planned, I prepared, I strategized, I meditated, I exercised, I talked with my team, and I talked with friends. I made an agreement with myself that I will not read about a future that may or may not even happen, and I will not increase my own anxieties over these speculations. I will not live frantically in a future that may or may not happen. Instead, I will live now, and I will choose to live greatly. And I chose to provide as much value as I can with as much as I have done, and it brings me joy to my entire Ad Badger community, and that means you, my friend, my dear listener. I chose to be the best leader I can in this difficult time, and this is what really wakes me up. This is why I work day in and day out. We get to choose how do we spend our days, and it's an immense gift to share it with you. Now, I know you come here for a funny podcast intro that we normally have, but underneath all of that is a team that truly loves what we do. So on behalf of everyone here at Ad Badger, thank you for listening. We are here for you through this difficult time. Remember, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Now, this is not an easy time, but never forget why you do what you do, to put food on your family's table, to build a brighter future for your children, to achieve a life that makes you feel alive. Remember the things that are worth fighting for. Now, I wanted to give you some business tips to help you and your company get through this. The first, focus on your mindset. If you are listening to this, you are a leader at your company. Everything will get a lot harder when you, leader at your company, believes that you cannot do it. In fact, success becomes impossible when you think you can't do it. When you think there's something massively outside of your control that is going to stop you at every turn, no matter what you do, all your attempts will be fruitless. You have already failed. So be sure to feed your mind with positive, growth-driven sources. I'm not telling you to ignore reality. Instead, I'm asking you to accept reality and move forward with the deepest drive and purpose you can make. This concept is described as the Stockdale paradox, where a captured POW survived 7 years in a Vietnamese prison camp. He said, "I never doubted not only that I would get out, but also I would prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life, which in retrospect I would not trade." You must retain faith that you will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. And at the same time, you must confront the most brutal facts about your current reality, whatever those might be. I'll talk about where to get those facts in a second. You must focus on facts, not conjecture. You have the facts that you need in your Amazon account, your daily sales numbers, your trajectory, your velocity, your change over time. Focus on sources that are actually there to help you grow too. Get off random social media feeds and instead bookmark the Facebook groups that mean the most to you. Bookmark the things that are the most valuable for you, because we are in overdrive in our Facebook group trying to facilitate discussion to help give you guys what you need. Reach out to us. We are here to help. Second, get real with financial modeling. What happens if you have 3 months at 50%? What happens if you have 6 months or 12 months at 50% of your current revenues? You need to be prepared. What is your plan? What will you cut? What will you do? You must plan. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Confront that reality. Third, don't stop moving forward. I've talked to some people about completely pausing their campaigns. Do not do this. Think of it this way. Think of a recession as a sharp curve on a racetrack. The best place to pass competitors, but it requires more skills than the straightaways. The best drivers apply the brakes just ahead of the curve. They know what to get rid of. They know what costs to cut. Then they turn hard at the apex of the curve, identify their growth plan, and accelerate out of the curve. Take action quickly. If you can grow a little bit now, just a little bit, you can grow a lot during a bull market. Now is the time where our shortcomings, the things we put off, become amplified. Did you have a bad campaign structure that you're just not fixing because everything was pretty okay? Well, now there's tons of people searching for your keywords with words like virus protection at the end of it that aren't relevant, dragging down your conversion rate. Now all of a sudden, Prime is saying that delivery days will be extended, hurting your conversion rate. Do you have a good bid optimization plan in place? If you don't, you might be being punished for it now. It's more important than ever to take action, fix these things, think about it, strategize. Those will pay off big. Don't pause your campaigns. Focus on your strategy. Scale things back. Scale things up that are working. We talked a lot about this in the previous episode, episode 70. We're talking a lot about this in our Facebook group. Point 4, surround yourself with a community that is cheering for you. Ask for help when you need it. Have a growth mindset. Do not be afraid to raise your hand and ask good questions that are relevant to you, because I assure you other people are wondering those same things. Our Facebook group, it's an overdrive right now. We've had more discussion there over the last week than we've probably had in the last month. Members of Team Badger are posting and facilitating conversations daily, and the community is doing a great job at answering each other's questions. It's awesome to see. Strategies and news are changing fast. You really do need a group you can trust that will help you filter the signal and noise. It's why we have our free Facebook group. adbadger.com/Facebook. Jump in. For my 5th point, last point, here's a rapid fire. Do not wait. Accept reality and move fast. You may need to pivot, and you don't want to find out that you need to pivot in 3 weeks from now when you could have found out today. Over communicate. Talk to your team. Talk to your contractors. Talk to your customers. Talk to your investors. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Don't let them guess what is happening. I assure you, this is the time to come together and brainstorm, not to go into isolation. You have a network. You have a community. Use it. Run your numbers and prepare for a stress test. How could you fare at 6 months for 50% of revenue? That financial modeling is more important than ever. Use your financing options available. Talk to investors, SBA loans, the bank, see about lines of credit. Don't wait to share bad news with those people. Sharing, being more transparent, helps you build trust. Stop spending money and start investing. What I mean by that is really ask yourself, what are you spending your money on? Is it helping you grow, or is it just around for comfort? remember, accept reality and work towards a better future, always. This is Mike. Thank you for joining me on my walk. As always, me and everyone here at Team Ad Badger are here for you. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to helping you with our software. We're rolling out new tools in our software regularly. We're creating new content for our users, and we're sharing a lot in our communities. Stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to each other, and always be optimizing.